is a cybersecurity and digital economy blockchain conference. This is our third edition. We started out 2018 and 2019 as well. 2020 we didn't step out for obvious reasons because of COVID and restriction to gather together. But we are grateful to God for the opportunity to see one another again. Some faces here I saw last 4 years ago, some others 3 years ago. I'm glad that we are all hale and hearty. Everyone is kicking fine. Some people are looking very healthy to show that this administration is doing us very well. Sure. So, whichever the case, we are grateful for the opportunity to gather again and to talk about our economy and the Nigerian business sector. I have with me here some of our ecosystem partners. To my right, I have representative from Digital Encode, and to my left, I have a representative from Lagos State Esports Association. They will also be contributing their thoughts to our conversation today. We will not take too much of your time because we've kept some of you waiting. We just want to talk about the conference that is coming up. So Cyberchain is a conference that talks about leading technologies in Nigeria. And this period, we know the leading technology has to do with blockchain. Of course, by October 1st, which is just a few days from now, the Central Bank of Nigeria will be releasing their own digital currency, which is the Central Bank digital currency that is tagged the e-Naira. It's also called Project Giant. It also has a wallet called the Speed Wallet. So all those things will be discussed on that day of the event. Scrolling behind me are some media ads that will be talking about the event. For those of you that may need it, you can speak to Chika, drop your WhatsApp number we have, she can forward it to you. Chika, please, can you show by raise of hand? So that's Chika, please. You can drop your WhatsApp number we have if she doesn't have it already, so she can forward you these two content and also the e-flyer if you may need that. So on day one of the event, first of all, the event is going to hold at the Lagos Oriental Hotel on the 19th, which is a Friday of November 2021. Then day two will be on the 20th, it's a Saturday of November 2021. On the first day, we'll be talking about blockchain and the benefit it has on the digital economy. The federal government of Nigeria has been talking about promoting cashless society, going digital and all that, and COVID-19 has also forced and compelled everybody to take business to the cloud. So we'll be looking at how blockchain can help us in that aspect. Of course, nobody is new to the technology of blockchain now, and the byproducts of blockchain. We'll be looking at smart contracts, how government can leverage on smart contracts to improve their business processes. Somebody will be coming to talk about that from the Department of Petroleum Resources. We will have the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission giving a keynote address. I will also be talking about how to enable the digital economy. We have speakers from SEC, the Security Exchange Commission. We'll also be talking about regulation, because when you are taking business digital to the cloud, it's more like leaving your hand, so we'll also talk about how to regulate it to keep people safe. We also have a few people talking about the need for education, because the digital economy, cloud solutions, remote work and all that is still a bit new to some of us here. So hopefully we'll have someone from the University of Nicosia in Cyprus. We'll be talking about the need for blockchain education. They are one of our partners. We also have, like I mentioned earlier here, Mr. Emmanuel is the chairperson of Lagos State Esports Association. That he'll be talking about gaming. Gaming is a huge sector we have not tapped into, and he'll be giving us insight how the young ones can cash into esports. It's also electronic sports. He will give us more insight into that. We have DG here. He'll be talking about security, cyber security. We all know the moment you go digital, you have to increase your security. We've heard about all forms of hacking. This year alone, many companies have lost huge resources to cyber fraud. It's just that they don't come out to talk about it. Digital Encode is one of the companies that train tier 1 financial institutions. So they'll be talking about, you give us some insight as well on how to secure your digital life the moment you go to the cloud. So day 1, we're talking about all of this. Day 2, we will focus on hands-on experience on cybersecurity. What do I mean by that? One of the slides will show you that we'll be having what we call a hackathon, which is a cybersecurity competition. Registration will start on the 1st of October, and the registration will close probably on the 3rd of October. Between 3rd of October and the end of October, the competitors will have an online task, which is, we call it a cloud-based task. So those that succeed, say about 100 people or more, will register for the competition. Those that succeed with that task, they will now have to come to Rental Hotel on the 20th of November, which is Saturday, for the final competition, the grand finale. And some of you, hopefully, or all of you will be there to see them. Out of the 5 that get to the grand finale, we'll have a first prize, second prize, and third prize. The first prize is $1,000. We pegged it with the CBN rate because we all know that Naira and dollar have been having some romance. So we'll not go much into that. So we pegged it with the CBN rate. So whoever wins is the prevailing rate that we get that day. So the first prize is $1,000. The second prize is $500. And the third prize is $300. Then the 4th and 5th prizes, we have consolation gifts of smartphones. So the 5 finalists that can make it on that day will not leave empty-handed. Now the question may be, who are these people that are eligible to come for this cybersecurity hacking competition? They are programmers, junior level programmers, developers, people that are used to coding, Linux, C++, Java, and the rest of them. The task will involve some tasks and exercises. They will talk more about that. I will not go into too much about it there. So day 1 and day 2 is all about this. We'll have someone that will be speaking from Jamaica virtually, and she'll be talking about taking your businesses online. She is an international business developer, digital business developer that have raised businesses from 0 to 6 figures in US dollars. That's Alicia Lito. So she'll be speaking virtually. And also the Professor John Jalis, that will be speaking from Cyprus, will also be speaking virtually. So those are 2 virtual speakers for now. All other speakers, if you are here already, they'll be speaking in person. Please, if you have questions that relate to security, that relates to regulation, that relates to doing businesses, get them ready ahead of time so that we can make them available for the speakers. Because immediately after their session, we will take 1 or 2 questions. If they cannot take, we appreciate what you guys are doing. We are encouraging you. It's not as if $1,000 is much, but it's just a token. So if Cyberchain can give a token, and some other organizations can also join hands to encourage these ones, one by one, we believe we'll be taking these guys out of the streets. We'll be reducing the headache of SARS. We'll be all about. Definitely we'll touch eNaira, but we will not talk too much about it now. We want it to be launched on Friday, which is the 1st of October. Then we'll position ourselves. We spoke to CBN, and they also told us that we should wait until after the launch. That's why we don't have any of them as a speaker yet, because they've been working around the clock. So I'm sure after the launch and their positioning and the city, then if Mr. Sheo or Trade Father can join us, because he says he's still on his way, then he will contribute his thoughts. Thank you very much. I'm done speaking. Okay, to my right, so over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So the name is Deji Aderoju, and I'm a representative of Digital Encode. So first of all, the question is, who is Digital Encode? So we are a cybersecurity company that offer vulnerability, security value to our customers. So we work in compliance, we also work in technical aspects too. So security landscape of the environment. So talking about cybersecurity today, a couple of times everybody is in their house or in their place of work, and you see this news that there's been a breach, there's been a hack, $2 million, and we always think that okay, that's so far away. These are bad guys on the TV screen, targeting American companies, and it might not happen to us here in Nigeria in terms of our skills, and also assess the future of cybersecurity industry. So I just once again want to thank Mr. Grid for this opportunity. For the CTF, we've provided questions that are more in tune with reality, especially in terms of forensics. When you get hacked, if there's a fraud right now on one of the banks, how do you invest that they are they're able to find out the perpetrator of the fraud? We also have the steganography aspect, where sometimes there are hidden messages. So it just tells you that files, because if I want to remove something from your organization, I don't want you to know, I can hide the data in another file, and you think, oh, this is just a normal test document or so, but I'm actually taking more.
Thank you.
You remember?
Congratulations. Thank you. So, the same way you would watch Arsenal on TV and share in the joy and sometimes the pain of victory and defeat, it's the same way you can experience the same, but in a digital space. So that's why today some people call it sports, cyber sports, some people call it digital sports, and some still call it electronic sports. But what it just tells you is it's a virtual.
We vet and verify each of these digital currencies before we list them. We also understand the peculiarities of Nigerian system. I personally am a certified ethical hacker, I'm a certified information security expert. I've worked in IT for a couple of years, and I understand how these things affect people and their businesses. So for us at TradeFinder, we make sure that we ensure that even though the digital currency space in Nigeria or the cryptocurrency exchange space is not yet regulated, we ensure that we operate within the best standards available. So we make sure that we protect our users' funds, we protect ourselves by implementing things as little as KYC, due diligence, verifying the people that we do business with. So unlike what the CBN governor said in February, which is people within the digital currency space are dark people who are not known, who are not seen. We abide by best financial standards available. Do KYC in order to protect our users. We want to ensure that everybody who's coming on our platform to trade is well verified, and we know the person, so that when they do business with someone else on our platform and they have any issues, we're able to come in for them and stand in with them. We also implement most of the best security practices in terms of things as little as 2FA, that's multi-factor authentication. We also ensure that we carry out some regular audits on our systems to make sure that we certify all our payment systems according to international standards, all the PCI, DSS standards, and everything that are available. So what that is for us is we don't look just to get all the customers, because what happens is that we have a lot of bad players within the space, which is what has been giving the blockchain industry a very bad name, not just in Nigeria but globally. And that is people who want to do business without being 100%, while being anonymous. Even though blockchain technology allows people to be anonymous, there's always that misconception that blockchain is, or Bitcoin for instance, is 100% anonymous, which is not true. So Bitcoin is pseudo-anonymous, which is nobody needs to know your name or your bank account or whatever details, but the address is publicly available on the blockchain. Everybody can verify the transaction that you do. So if you are a bad player, which is maybe you commit fraud or you are a terrorist and you're financing terrorism and whatnot, your addresses and your funds can actually be blacklisted, which means if you send money to anybody else who's operating within that space, we are able to, there are means that people are able to use to understand and identify this kind of bad funds. So we at TradeFinder, we ensure that we limit our customers from those exposures. So we limit them from operating and exchanging their currencies with people who are bad players, and these bad players never want to be identified. We ensure that we get people to the level whereby their accounts are not frozen by other exchanges, or they are not labeled or put under investigation for whatever reason. So for the Cyberchain conference, we see that something that's very, very, very interesting, because for us as a business, Cyberchain, cybersecurity and blockchain work hand in hand. You cannot do any digital business without considering the security aspect of it. We've seen technology develop at a very, very fast rate, and while not putting security into perspective, you see a lot of organizations who start up and then wind down because they've been hacked or they've been taken out of business by some kind of security flaw or some kind of loophole that wasn't covered. So for us, we ensure that we partner with organizations who are very much into the cybersecurity space, into the education space, give people education on how to protect themselves. You'll be surprised what things as little as just enlightenment. The number of people who probably lose money to WhatsApp frauds in Nigeria will be alarming when you get to it. Because you have people who are constantly calling you, asking you for your ATM numbers, asking you for your PINs. You see, the banks are also putting out a lot of information and sensitizing people. So we believe that within this digital space, even as much as it's very interesting to tell people about Bitcoin and tell people about Ethereum, Dogecoin, and all these beautiful projects out there, it's also very, very, very important that we consider the security aspects. And cybersecurity, it's always well known that the human being is the only unpatchable part of it, and human beings do the best thing. But of course, you can still patch human beings by educating them and letting them understand how things can work, so that we're not susceptible to social engineering and all these things, and then we end up losing our hard-earned money, which ends up leaving a bitter taste for people within the blockchain and cryptocurrency exchange space. So we believe that if we keep having other events like this, and truly put the convener, we have, apart from having the conference, they do a lot of things offline. It's educating people constantly. Companies like Digital Info who also provide training services for not just people, the banks, exchanges, and all of that. We can make Africa a very, very safe space for cryptocurrency and digital currency operations. So that'll be all for now. Thank you very much.
It's not so big a deal yet, because we're still trying to catch up. We're emerging in that space. And also, if you look at the clampdown that we've seen recently from the government, it's making a lot of people back off. I have friends who have told me that instead of keeping their money in that format, they will sell it and go and buy food or something, So, but at the same time, we are thankful that there is a change there's a shift, by the government to say, okay, we also now want to get into this, with the announcement of the e-naira that will be launched. So I'm sure that will bring about a lot more conversations. Nigerians who know about this will now be a lot more confident to go into it. And I'm sure also that there will be a robust conversation that will also involve other digital currencies, not necessarily e-naira alone. We don't know if it's going to be
some student bodies, some hackathon hubs, some developing hubs, some coding boot camps that we've already put on the waiting list, because we're waiting for you to get this information firsthand. You are our primary contact people. So by the time your news start going, and maybe from later today or tomorrow, we also write them so that everybody get the information about the same time. Then we are giving them we say the list will be open from 1st of October, but with these questions now, we may even open it tonight. Okay, we may open it tonight, so that gives them extra 3 days, which is like 6 days. Because we wanted to open it on 1st of October, but we know with this interest that is building up, your news can go out tonight or tomorrow, and people want to start hitting there. So we can open the registration form tonight, so that if people go there, they can start registering. But from the 3rd of October, 11:59 p.m., the registration goes down. Yes, it will close. The reason is we want to get the people that are serious. I'm a security expert. If I want to engage a security analyst or a licensed penetration tester to help me check my network, I don't want someone that does not know his or her job. I need someone that is very good at the job. And time is of the essence. Now, during NSAS, we noticed, I really do not want to touch that, but we noticed there was this group that kept saying they can help hack CBN, they can help hack here, they can help hack them. If those people actually intend to target an organization, it will not take them 5 or 10 minutes to do that. Now, no matter how robust your security architecture is, the most important thing is response time. If the security team, the cybersecurity team are very good and they are busy sipping coffee when a breach is ongoing, even if they get flags, they get alerts, if they don't respond immediately, no matter how good they are, that institution will go down. So the first exercise we want these people to go through is speed. How fast can they respond? The link for the register, the normal registrars, the normal attendees is there. Once they hit the site, they will see register. That's for the normal people. Now we are targeting the
people that are normal.
Mr. Martins, you want to compel me to use abnormal? So we are targeting these people that can, recognize that this is what they are here for. They will sweep through the website, and if that is what they are going there for, they will know. If you even take time as a normal person that uses tech tools and you're online every day, if you take your time, if you are patient, you take your time to sweep through the website, you will see the door to go in. Then when you get to the second one and you take your time, you will see the window to get in. Then you can now fill your details. It's at that point that we know these people have passed through the first stage. We will now contact them, congratulate them, and give them link to the lab. So it's when they get into the lab that they start their exercise. $1,000 is not much, like I said earlier, but it's something tangible, and we want them, even if they are students or young employees somewhere, we want them to appreciate the fact that they've done something so that to get it is something that should task them.
Get 580,000 naira.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, there's another. I have another worry.
Yes, please.
Now, the hackathon is supposed to be for young people.
And young at heart too.
Yes, young at heart. This is in the area of cybersecurity and blockchain technology.
Yes.
But have you put anything in place to find out or to dictate somebody, an experienced or professional person that may want to participate to chop that money? So how do you
terms and conditions?
Yes. So we've been building this platform, which is here for about 90 days, thereabouts, about 3 months building to this time. We've had several meetings. I want to appreciate Digital Encode. They've been working tirelessly, even up to last night. We went through it again. We've been testing ourselves because this question came up. How do we ensure a professional hacker doesn't come and grab this? Because we actually want to encourage the young ones. We've tested it. We have some systems in place to fish them out. It's not as if we're going to discourage them, but we let them know that we are trying to build a burden on your phone. You're a mini bank. If someone lays their hand on your mobile phone and have access to your app, they can wipe your entire funds out, and it will not be funny. Something as simple as an image sent to you on WhatsApp or a PDF document can have some SQL embedded codes, and you can click on that image or download that document, or even click on a link to a website, and they can plant something on your phone which will start diverting funds from your account you may not know. There are many ways these bad actors get into our devices now. It's not until your device is even stolen these days. Mr. Shehu made mention of lots of WhatsApp hacks, and lots of these things are going on in Telegram as well and many other places. So one of the things you'll be benefiting by attending Cyberchain is to know how to keep yourself safe, because, like I said in one of my speeches, an institution or an organization can be reduced to an individual. If a nefarious actor wants to attack an institution, they don't even need to go to the head office or to the building. They can stay at a coffee shop or somewhere and enter into a conversation with you, exchange contacts, and send you a message, send you an image or something, and the moment you click on it, they've gained access into your device. Then from your device, they can gain access to your organization's network. Is that critical? So security is very important as much as your digital assets are important. So we don't just tell people how to come into a digital world and expand on their digital assets. On that, we'll be talking about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Of course, Mr. Emmanuel has talked about esports. We'll also be talking about GameFi, and all these digital assets can get you some good monies, but haven't gotten this into your devices. How do you secure them? How do you protect them? So these are the things we'll be talking about on the 2 days. It's going to be very packed. You'll be hearing from more speakers. These are 3 speakers here. I've just given you a tip of the iceberg. So we appreciate you for your time. If you have 1 or 2 questions, because we know we've taken some of your time, you can ask us, then we'll continue the conversation. Please, you can follow these people on social media, LinkedIn, so you can also ask them direct questions. You get to know more about what they are doing in their various organizations, because we may not be able to exhaust all the questions and answers here. Thank you once again. So the floor is open for questions and brief responses. Thank you.
Right for the business life. I just want to know first. I'm glad you have a report of trust in our Nigerian police, because when you were talking, you said that you are going to, with what you are doing, this education and education, the hackathon, and you're trying to take away the IT people, I think some of these hackers, away from the streets, making them probably white hats rather than black hats. And you think the police will be happy about it. I wish you were. I wish you were if you think the police will be happy. Anyway, so my question is actually on CBN. They are not attending our events, and they want to launch and you just made mention of that you've spoken with them concerning and the idea out in the street is that.
So we appreciate each and every one of you. We hope that you get our stories out. Like I always say, if we don't tell our stories, foreigners will tell it the way they like. So please, let's tell our stories in the way that it matters, in the way that it will favor our budding ecosystem.
Our language.
Yes, in our language. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you. If it's possible to just take pictures with one another, we may not be able to gather everybody, just little group pictures, you can. Then if you also want to interview 1 or 2 of our partners and sponsors, for those of you that haven't interviewed them, you can also do that either here downstairs or wherever you have a conducive environment. Like I said, you can also follow them on social media so you get to know more of what they are doing. For us, just to put out the website, is cyberchain.com.ng. When they visit cyberchain.com.ng, there is a regular registration link that anybody that wants to attend the event can click. You will see register, but there is an embedded link which is not available for the ordinary eye to see. So somebody that knows they want to partake in the hacking competition has to go into that website with a third eye, that is with an inner sense, to be able to decode where that link is. It will take them to another website again where they will also need to decode another link. Yes.
Are you hiding this thing from people?
Exactly, it's part of the exercise. So, because we don't want just every Tom, Dick and Harry, every Yabo and Ahmed and Chukwemeka to just go in there. So we know that if they pass through the first website and pass through the second website and get to the registration page, we know that these are the kind of people we are looking for. Yes. So what they're going to see, the second website, I don't even know if I know the name of the website. The result will be as transparent as possible. Now we have about 10 days window to check all the people that qualified. So their emails, their names, their social handles, and some other parameters we are going to be looking at. So we will take our time. I think 10 days is enough for the team to look at the registrants and the qualifiers very critically. We'll also do some social engineering backstage to know who these people are, right? And we have 2 other bodies that have told us they want to remain anonymous. Okay, there are some government bodies, and they will also be helping us to look at these things. It's not for anybody to be scared. Anybody is free to join. We have the professionals, or maybe like a lecturer, a cybersecurity lecturer can now say, okay, let me come and do this. When we discover who the person is, we will call them and say, thank you, sir. We want your student, to benefit from this.
And you think 10 days will be enough to do the whole of this? Because if you have the number, I mean, if there are too many people coming in for this, I mean,
yes.
You think 10 days will be enough
To trim
them down? Because, you have a lot of, budding developers in this country.
Oh, yes.
Plenty of them waiting for this kind of opportunity.
Exactly.
And then, how do you think 10 days will be enough for you to say, look, we are trimming this thing down to this number? Or are you afraid that possibly there are going to be too many people, so you want to use this figures whatever to check the number of people you are going to allow for this?
If I think it's as if that was in one of our meetings, so we've actually asked ourselves all of these questions, right? And yes, we made it a bit rigorous to cut down the number. We also reduced the time frame to also cut down the number. We have some verification processes. We are hoping to get positive word and response from NITDA and CBN. We have their responses, we have their confirmation to the verification of our letter that we received it. So we'll just give them another call. If they show up, if they have enough time, because this season, I must tell you, the work of the E-Naira is huge. It's very huge. From the outside, people may just think it's one currency that they are just releasing. No, there's a whole lot of infrastructural work that is going on.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
You're
My
welcome.
name is Lee. I'm from Coin System. So we report about blockchain and cryptocurrency. So my question is esports. I've been in contact with the esports association in America. So a lot of things are happening in this sector. People are creating wealth in this sector. It's a very interesting sector. So we are talking about tokenization. Mr. Menal, what will you say, what are the steps you are taking towards tokenization?
Okay, so thank you for your question. When you talk about esports, of course it's making a lot of people back off. I have friends who have told me that instead of keeping their money in that format, they will sell it and go and buy food or something, So, but at the same time, we are thankful that there is a change in, there's a shift, by the government to say, okay, you know what, we also now want to get into this. We don't want to be at the back end. We want to be at the forefront to see the latest technologies that are happening, so that we can also be at the forefront and be abreast with the latest details out there.
Okay, so thank you everyone. I think we've taken as much as we can.